Hello, hello, July 31st, Direct Mail Monday, last day of July 2017. Steve Sipress here, sharing with you actual mail that arrived in my actual mailbox over the past week. But as always, I start off by sharing my Rhino of the day out of my collection of hundreds and hundreds, I think over 800 last time I counted rhinos. I share one every day. Today, because it is Direct Mail Monday, we have this Rhino letter opener. How appropriate, huh? See what I did there? So this is a, I don't know what it's made of, some kind of ceramic or plastic or whatever, but very cool. We got the Rhino letter opener, and let's get right to the mail here on Direct Mail Monday. So first of all, the typical stuff that comes in, and I wouldn't even save this other than I do these videos, but this is what people call junk mail, and how people treat junk mail. Now, not everyone does, okay? So your ideal ideal target customer is a price shopping, tire kicking, problem customer who's looking for the lowest price without regard to quality, and therefore, I mean, is not somebody I would ever want to do business with. Then by all means do some of this junk. But otherwise, if you're looking to get to affluent homeowners, business people that actually look for results and think of the bottom line and quality and want to do things right and have money to spend and will refer you to other people that are similar instead of the tire kickers, who will, of course, refer you to other tire-kicking, lunatic, crazy, crappy clients. Who the heck wants those? You should stay away from this stuff unless you want those crappy customers. Stuff like this, the Val Pack. Now, of course, it works. People that use this and get results with it love it. I personally, I don't even open them up. If I did, it's just filled with, discount this and 2 burgers for $1 over here and a sub for $3 and a free Coke. Save $1, save a quarter, limo ride to the airport, $2 off, that kind of nonsense. So if you are marketing to affluent people, because this came here, so it goes to even affluent homes in whatever area you're mailing to. However, again, I'm not even opening this. Neither are your best customers likely. And even if I did, and you have a message to an affluent homeowner, business owner, something that's high quality, high value, you are demeaning yourself by being locked in with all the crappy stuff that's in here. So I'm looking, even if you are the finest provider of a product or service in the area, if you're in this thing, I'm looking at you as if you're not. So it's even counterproductive unless, you've already basically using every single way you possibly can to advertise and market your business. And you're like, might as well throw something in there, and if anything comes from it, great. Maybe there's a tire-kicking, crummy, price-shopping prospect who knows somebody who needs something, who actually is somebody I would want to do business with, or maybe they show it to their boss who owns a business and therefore is looking to buy something of quality, likely has a better lifestyle and income, and actually cares about it anyway. So similar to this thing arrived, same thing. I think it's put out by local newspaper or whatever. Grapes for 79 cents. Save 20 cents. Whoa, look at that, 70 cents, 77 cents a pound for chicken something or other. 85 cents for nectarines. I'm sure it's normally 89 cents, so that's a big savings there, and on and on. So that's the kind of stuff you don't want to do. And then here's a piece of direct mail, a single mailer. This is also the crap you just don't want to do. Okay, this very likely comes from the company. So if you're a financial advisor, or if you're a real estate agent, and therefore you work with a broker or a brokerage, an agency, something, and you're like, oh, see, I don't have to listen to Steve. I don't even watch his videos. That's why I know this person couldn't be watching, because the company does all that stuff for me. If I have to place an ad, they give me one. Well, I'll give you a hint. They give you one, and who do you think, therefore, that ad or piece of marketing promotes? Give you a hint. It ain't you. Okay, it's going to have their logo, their name really big, and so you're paying, even if it's just co-op dollars or whatever, to market the name of the brokerage. So maybe if you're with Merrill Lynch, they'll give you a postcard to mail out, and it'll be Merrill Lynch colors and Merrill Lynch logo and Merrill Lynch this and that, and have your little name in the corner. And so who do you think they're branding? Who do you think they're getting their message out about. So this one is the same way. You see in the corner here, there it is, Caldwell Banker. This is all about Caldwell Banker. You can see, oops, there's their logo, there's the colors. So what do you think the colors of the postcard are? Are they your favorite colors? Of course not. They're the colors of the company because that's who you're promoting. And then, you know, this. So there's the name, email, and phone number of the person here. And on the back, at least one smart thing, she got a photo there, again with her name and email and phone number, just says she's a realtor. But this, you know, come on now, what are you doing? So there's no story here about nothing, no why I should like you or trust you or who you are. Are you brand new? Do you know my neighborhood? Have you sold 20 homes in the neighborhood? You have testimonials from happy neighbors of mine and people I might know. You know, all you show is the just listed $500,000 whatever. So at least you're hitting the right target. That might be a home that I'm looking for. But people want to do business with people they know, people they like, people they trust. I mean, any kind of marketing or advertising you're doing which doesn't help build any of those three things is a total waste for you. But again, this is really useful for your brokerage. They like this kind of stuff. However, you should do the stuff I'll get to now, which is, the reason this is 3 pieces I'm going to show. They're from different companies, but they're promoting 3 different events, seminars, in-person events, charging 2 of them charging decent money for them. One is actually free, one is charging a little bit of money, and one is a big whopping amount of money. So you'll see also various points they're hitting on in the market. But my point is, if you've been following along with Direct Mail Monday, you've seen me share pieces that came in the mail, and that doesn't include the emails, the phone calls, text message, anything else I would get. This is simply, oh, and I, you know, turn on Facebook or LinkedIn, and their marketing is coming at me there too. This is just the physical mail part of the campaign, and that's the key word for today. Is sharp marketers think in terms of marketing and advertising campaigns. That means multi-step, multimedia. Okay, step 1, letter goes out. 3 days later, phone call. 3 days later, an email. 3 days later, a postcard. 3 days later, another letter. 3 days later, they start seeing ads. 3 days later, this, that. It's a campaign, multi-step, multimedia. So it could be, you know, first something comes in the mail, something comes to the phone, whatever. Okay, so these are multiple steps in a campaign. I've already been talking about these and I've received stuff for weeks. And since both events have a ways to go, this one's in November, this one's in October, the end of October, 23rd. So both around the same time, months away. I think this is not the last piece I'm receiving for either one of these. And then the third one, I have to open it up to find out, but this is the second or third piece I've received on this. So that's for lesson number 1, and you can turn the video off right here if you want, is multiple steps. Multiple steps, okay? So I might have forgotten or misplaced the first mailing I got, or might have thought, that's a good idea, sounds pretty good, I'll check it out, or I'll go to the website. I forgot all about it. Life happened, things went on, things are happening, but then they send me another thing. Oh yeah, you know, I recognize that. So let's start with this one. This is a oversized postcard. You know, my favorite is doing the oversized postcard. This is from a company called GKI, started by Bill Glazer, partnered with Dan Kennedy, which was the Kennedy Inner Circle, and it became the Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle. And Bill sold it years ago, but word has it, and I just spoke with the president of the company today, that Bill is back in a big way and loving to be back a part of it, and Dan is back a part of it, and that can only bode well for the company, and you see some good things going on in their marketing as a result. So this came last week, so even though it gives a bonus if I sign up for the event by July 31st, which is today, it did not come today, or another one I shared previously, which came after the deadline that was on the postcard. So good news, this came a few days before, came last week. And the only problem with this, though, they're offering the bonus for signing early, and that means in July, event that doesn't happen until October. So instead of, well, you don't get much interest in the bank, but there's things business owners can do with money to generate revenue and income. So if I'm just going to give them my money to hold it for August, September, for 3 months, and all they're giving me in return is, by acting that quickly, I get a free book, which of course I already have. It's a book about marketing. Okay, so it's and Ryan here's the speaker, so it's Ryan's book, Ask, which is an ingenious book we can get into another Sometimes he takes an age-old concept and makes it seem like he invented something and came up with something new. So that is brilliant. But of course, I already have a copy of the book from when he first came out. And besides, I probably could go on Amazon and get it for $10, $20. So how is that a big incentive for them to hold, I don't know, $500 or $1,000 of my money for months? Not enough incentive there. So a weak bonus. However, I like the fact that it's keeping in line with their comic book superhero theme. So you saw me share recently on one of these Direct Mail Monday videos an actual comic book that they sent me in the mail. How cool is that? So now they're building on that. All their pieces will have these comic book characters in them. Each person is, and it's in this Comic Sans font, the headline at least, so it's got comic book feel. This is the Comic Sans font also up here. So it's a comic book fun feel, and this kapow, kablammy, blue starburst thing. It's a very comic book kind of feel to it, and the superhero thing. And then it's all about how you can learn, and a lot of emphasis on the speakers. I noticed there's a lot of it's taken up about 2/3 of this back oversized postcard, just 3 of them, and there's more, so maybe the next postcard I'll get about 3 other ones. But it's a lot about the speakers. Now that is in contrast to this one I'll show you, which is also, I've showed you multiple pieces in this campaign, and this is the newest one that arrived. It's a postcard from Joe Polish. Now, I was a member of Joe's Genius Network, colloquially known as the 25K group, because that's what we gave him, $25,000 a year. I was in there for a couple of years, so he got 50 grand of my money. And as a result, I am a prime prospect to possibly want to attend another one of his great events or come back to the fantastic group. And I do think about that often, and I wouldn't think about it as much if I didn't receive some cool, fun, great marketing. And so that's another reason that you want to do multiple steps. Stay in the mind of your best prospects, including your former or lost or previous customers. Whatever you think of, they're just lost. But Joe knows better. He knows that I was in this for a couple of years. It's a fantastic group of awesome, great, mostly fantastic entrepreneurs. And I think very often about getting back into it. I'm still connected to Joe and lots of people on social media, and I see all the stuff. And very important that for a measly buck or less, I get this postcard, and look how much fun it is. It's got a little fun photo of Joe, and then it's got Dean Graziosi, another charter member, one of the first people ever in the group, hanging out with Tony Robbins, and they're talking to, now here's the messaging, and he's got this fun copy doodle, which is a software that was invented by another friend of mine, sharp marketer Mike Caputo. So he's got a copy doodle arrow in there, so lots of fun here. You see the difference between the garbage, corporate-y, saying nothing, telling no story, having no fun, throw this thing out before you even look at the postcard, and the engaging fun ones like this that says, hey, go here and watch this video. And it's in a little video box, right? But look at who they're targeting here. So here he says, he asked the question, where do the top experts go? Now, why would you ask that? Because you want the recipient to go, that's for me. I'm a top expert. At least Joe thinks I am. That's cool. And that's who this event is for. And so then it's repeated on the bottom. Go here and see, and find out why the top experts turn to the Genius Network to help solve their biggest problems. So even top experts have problems. We wouldn't be in business if we have problems. We have solutions, but of course we have problems. So this is a group. You want a genius network of people to help you solve problems. And this is where the top experts go. So he says it once, and then he says it again. The top experts. So I look at this and say, my clients and people I know, of course, tell me all the time I'm a top expert, which I am in my field of marketing for small business owners. And so maybe I ought to be here. So good messaging there. And then on the back, as usual with the sharp marketing postcards I show you, they're using just about every inch of space on here, packing in. I'll take out a magnifying glass and read this if I have to, because I'm interested in it. If I'm not, I'm going to toss it anyway. But you don't have to, have all this blue space here. Oops, it's over here. I'm terrible with this mirror with the camera. And the back, what a total waste. There is nothing but a bogus legal mumbo jumbo thing. And the whole 2/3 of it is just my name. And then I guess that's a return address. with her picture. I mean, what a total waste of the backside of the car. No waste here, and no waste on that one either, right? Tons of stuff going on front and back. Now, the difference between these two events, this one talks here, it unsells the event. It's called takeaway. You can call it anything you want. I call it takeaway language here. It says it's an exclusive event for entrepreneurs making a net profit of at least $100K minimum in business per year. Now, when I was in the group, it was different. You had to have at least $1 million business or whatever it was. But, you know, attendance is limited by application only. Big difference. This is come one, come all. Anyone that sees this or hears about it or whatever, please sign up, and it's like $500. This one, last I knew, is $10,000 a person. The group is $25K a year. Just this 2 or 3 day event, 2 days, November 3rd and 4th, right here in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, is $10,000 a person. So they're talking to top experts. This one's talking to anyone that kind of just needs a checkup. This one, you need a checkup. We got a little freezing there. You need a checkup and some fresh ideas. Doesn't say on here it's for top people, doesn't screen people out. So there's a difference between a $500 event and a $10,000 event. By the way, last I went to this a few years ago, had maybe 120, 150 people there. They always talk about capping the group at 80, at 100, 120. Had an overflow room even, you know, the room was bursting, it seems. This one says 300 and plus will be in attendance. And who knows what it'll be next year and the year after and the year after. Any network is as strong as the people in it and a number of people in it. So by saying there's 300 plus people, I got to be thinking, wow, there's likely somebody there I can connect with and certainly make a heck of a lot more than just 10 grand from making a connection with the right person. Now, another difference is this event, because it's not to top experts, it's really, you know, pretty much just a business owner. It's really talking a lot about the speakers and what you'll learn, and you'll learn from the experts. But this one mentions the speakers. Of course, there's Tony Robbins and Dean, who I'm sure is speaking. But here on the back, we're a little freezing again, it mentions in one paragraph, a run-on paragraph, some of the experts. Tony Robbins, Randy Zuckerberg, who invented Facebook Live, JP Sears, if you've seen his hilarious, sarcastic videos, and on, Dan Sullivan, Vern Harnish, you know, founder of EO, Russell Brunson will be there, and on and on and on. Lots of cool people. So, but it's a lot more emphasis on top experts, who's in the audience, who you're going to meet, who you're going to network with. And oh, by the way, yeah, there are some cool speakers. But also, by the way, you get to meet and hang with the cool speakers too, because there's only 300 people there. And so small group, invitation only. Anyway, that stuff. Now, the last piece I'll share is this. I have this is a regional event that happens several times a year. The next one is going to be in my area in a few months, and it is the GKI Boot Camp. This is for newbies. I talked about this 1 or 2 weeks ago with another piece they sent me, that I was at the very first one, the one and only one that was hosted and taught by Bill Glazer himself. And since then, it's still in able hands, but it's not Bill himself. But I was taken aback a little bit that the piece I received had some irrelevant photos on it, and it didn't have the military theme that Bill used when he first put out the boot camp. It's called Boot Camp for a reason. It's to get you into shape. You know, I was never in the military myself, and anybody that's out there, I thank you for your service profusely. And I can only tell from talking to friends and business partners and associates and clients and the movies what it's like to go through boot camp. I mean, it's whipping you into shape to be stronger, leaner, fighting machine than you ever been before. So that's the boot camp. That's the idea they call it a boot camp. So I was very pleased to see this come in the mail. Another freezing issue here. And let's see if we can come back. Hello, are we back? Okay, we're back. Has a camouflage. And I can assume, I hope that on the inside, I will use my trusty Rhino letter opener to open this piece of mail. It works. How cool is that? Badu, back in the collection. And so it has, yes, it has camouflage around the edge of the, now we're talking, camouflage around the edge of the page. It has this boot camp green, army green color, even on the copy doodles, another copy doodle. right there. So way to go, Mike. You're on the GKIC mailing, you're in the Joe Polish mailing. And so it's all kind of boot camp stuff. And then here is the actual form to send in. And again, it's got the camouflage all around it. Another freezing issue, man. Let's see if we can come back. Hold it steady for when we do. There we are. So yeah, it's coming up in, it's only in about 6 weeks. So I might only receive a couple more pieces here, and the registration's free. So this one's a free event, but still, you got to sell free. Okay, this is the second or third piece. And like I said, I get emails, phone calls. I'm sure I'll get more touches. This is about I think it's an 8-page sales letter. Full color photos about how cool the event is and all kinds of other things. You got to sell free, folks. Why? Because the event, even if it's not free, that you are paying any money to attend, but time is money, isn't it? And to a successful entrepreneur, that's actually the one thing we can never get back. Making money, selling stuff, you can always do that. There's plenty of money out there. People are, no matter, even we are back again. Another connection issue here, so I'll make it quick. But time, especially the top entrepreneurs, we can get all the money we want. Selling stuff is easy when you do things right, but time is valuable. So what do I have better to do that day or 2 days? Yes, 2 days. Man, they better really sell me on why I should go there and not do whatever I was going to do instead, including work in my business and make money. Are we freezing up again? I can take a hint. Gotta go. But that's it for Direct Mail Monday. 3 follow-up pieces in the marketing. Do this, folks. Marketing is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing campaign. Similar to a boot camp, an army thing, right? They do a campaign. Okay, you go from the left, you go from the right. It's going to take a week here, and we're going to do this whole campaign. It's not just a, hey, fire, you're done. Let's see if we hit somebody. Look, there's a lot of soldiers. I guess we'll drop one bomb and hope we kill them. Or let's shoot one gun off and hope we win the war. Like, it's not how it's won in war. Again, not that I have no first hand, but that's certainly not how it's done in marketing. So there's one-time stuff or there's crappy junk mail. None of that. Do the really, is this work? Sure. You have to get the right person who knows what they're doing to put this together and get the right words on the paper until maybe you can figure it out. It took me years to figure out how to do it, and now, it just rolls off. And this is stuff I create, and so do people I know, and my clients do this kind of stuff. So my suggestion is find somebody who knows what they're doing and get this stuff out there and start to reap the rewards. As always, at the end, I go to the questions. Hey, Asa Patterson's here. Ace, Phil, Rich, Chet Powers, Merle, Rob Valinka's here. All kinds of great people are here. And Phil is saying with the power of variable printing, right, variable printing. I think we talked about that last time. Wouldn't it be fun if the postcard from Joe had a picture of me at the last event of his that I attended? Yeah, it could. However, that's going to be a real tall order, since now you would have to sync your database and know that there was a good photo, which of course there was, several photos of me speaking from the audience, not from the stage, or hanging out with cool people or having fun at the events. Yeah, that would be very cool. And maybe you're right, for $10,000 attendance, that could go a long way if I saw a photo of myself instead of just Tony and Dean on here. And I think you're right. That's a great point, Phil. See, Phil's a sharp marketer. So instead of, it's likely I just got the same postcard as everybody else, as if I was not ever in the group. And I've already given Joe $50,000 plus more, but just for this group for 2 years, $50,000. Phil, that's a great point. You would think I would get a different mailer that would say, hey, we haven't seen you in X couple of years, 3 years, 2 years, a year, however long it's been. And yeah, maybe a photo of me there. Man, that would, Phil, that's brilliant. That would go a long way. I would do a lot more than just about it. I would think Joe really actually cares. And it isn't Joe that's in charge of this. I won't say who it is, but he's got people in charge of this. And yeah, they ought to know that. And maybe I'll suggest that to people that have already given you $50,000 are worth more specialized marketing than the same thing that's going to just about anybody. That was a great point. Thank you for the comment, Phil. Way to go. Rich says, Rich, as always, we share our love for the beleaguered, injury-plagued, mismanaged, terribly run franchise, the New York Mets. And Rich is often bringing that up. And so, direct to me, I guess that's an homage to Direct Mail Monday. Turn on the Nats-Marlins game. I guess I got to do that. The Nats-Marlins game has a no-hitter going into the 9th inning. Crap, got to go. Thanks for being here on Direct Mail Monday. I'll be back tomorrow with Topical Tuesday. I'll take an issue that's going on in the news. I'll teach a business lesson from it. And who knows, what's going on in the news might be there was a no-hitter pitched yesterday in Major League Baseball that I'm about to see if I can at least catch the last pitch of. Thanks for being with me today. Anyone watching on the replay, be back tomorrow on Topical Tuesday, and we'll see you